There you go,
There,
Mattaes. There
there
we
we
go.
are. Finally got it.
Perfect. Thanks for coming on.
No, no worries, man. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
No problems. I'll get it started then. Being joined here by potential top 10 draft pick, Mattaes Phillipou. Mattaes, thanks for coming on.
No worries, man. It's good to be on it.
Yeah, first of all, what nickname do you get called the most by some of your teammates?
I don't have a nickname. Everyone just calls me Mattaes. Dad and Granddad have nicknames, but I've just never had one. It's just always been Mattaes for me.
Well, we'll call you Mattaes on the stream then. Appreciate it. First of all, how's the nerves feel? How are you feeling with the draft 18 days away? You've got any nerves at all, or pretty calm, and collected?
Definitely some nerves, not knowing where I'm going to end up. But I guess I've got a pretty good indication that I am going to go somewhere. So there are other boys that don't have that luxury. So I've just been pretty grateful to know that I'm probably going to go. But yeah, definitely nervous and a little bit anxious. Yeah.
Are you happy to play in any state-wise?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone that's asked me, I've said I'm almost more excited to go into state, to be honest with you.
Has there been how many clubs have you spoken? Have you spoken to all clubs, or just a certain particular amount of teams? And who have you spoken to the most?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. Everyone except Brisbane, but that makes sense knowing that they've got to muster enough points to get Ashcroft and Fletcher. But I've spoken to pretty much everyone, pretty much the same amount. So 2 or 3 interviews for each club.
Okay. So where did the football journey start for you? Obviously, did it start at a young age like most people?
Yeah, very young. Dad was towards the end of his playing days when I was growing up, and I was introduced to it at a very young age, and I guess started playing properly around under 8s, and then it just went from there.
For the people that don't know, you're 190 centimetres. So what type of play would you describe yourself as? More of a mid-forward?
Yeah. Main roles mid-forward, high impact. Probably don't need it or get it as much as some of the other guys, but can do just as much, if not a lot more damage than some of the other guys. Can take a mark, can play down forward. I reckon I could play the wing and even off half back if needs be, depending on the team.
Yeah, that's right. So has there been any particular games that stand out to you so far that made you feel that you belong and that you'll go in the draft pretty early?
Not really, to be honest with you. I remember the first game against the Allies, I thought I was just all right, but I remember a couple of people, said to me after, you did really, really well when, you put your name real far forward. So not really, to be honest. I always just tried to focus on the game and understanding that the draft and all that was still a long way away. I just tried to focus on getting better.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned your dad too before. What advice has he given you and some of the coaches you've had, obviously leading into the drafts? Obviously your dad played at Footscray for 3 games. Any advice he and any of your coaches have given you?
Yeah, definitely. I've been lucky enough to have a lot of great coaches along the way, and I reckon each one has probably instilled or taught me something new or different about the game and myself. So I reckon the main thing coming into the year was just working on my defensive application and things like that.
Yeah, obviously you got some self-confidence about you. Obviously there's been comparisons to the Bontempelli 5 type of player. How do you go about that? Because obviously a lot of players like to be, be conservative when they're talking about themselves. But also you're very confident speaking about yourself. How do you feel about doing stuff like that? Because you know that probably there's going to be people that are going to say, they're talking a bit too much about yourself, but it's a good thing to have too, I suppose.
Yeah, 100% agree. I understand that I haven't played a game yet, and once you get drafted, it's back to square one. And obviously, Bont and Fife are 2 superstars in their own right. But I guess when I say I compare myself to Bont, I just look at certain aspects of his game and I try and implement them into mine, knowing he plays the same position as me. So, I'm not putting any expectation on myself to live up to anyone's hype. I'm going to be my own player. So I think it's exciting when I look at it in that way.
Yeah. What team did you bag for growing up?
Yeah, I was a Port man. Not too sure why. I just gravitated towards them from an early age. Yeah, I've always been Port. Yeah.
This is a funny question that comes up with a lot of people when they're getting drafted. Is weird recruiting questions. There's been any weird things that recruiters have asked you? Because I've heard in the past people ask, "What car would you be and why?" Have you got any type of weird questions like that or any other ones?
No, I didn't have anything too weird. I remember one of them I got brought into a room with another one of my SA teammates, and that was definitely new. I wouldn't say weird. It was funny though. But I haven't had any weird off the cuff ones. Nah.
Oh, that's very good. So just a few more questions for you. So outside of Will Ashcroft, who's the best player in this draft, do you feel?
Well, I would always say myself. I've got, like you said, I've got a high belief in myself, and I think, whether everyone believes that I'm the best now, I'm not sure, but I've always been very confident that I was one of the better players in this draft, and whether you got me in the 10 or you got me in the 3, it doesn't really mean much to me because I know I've got a lot of work on and things like that. But yeah, I would say myself.
So if you guys have got any more questions for Mattaes, please send them through in the comments section. Outside the AFL, is there any other sports that you follow?
Yeah, basketball, definitely. Before this year, really, I was, probably more basketball than I was footy. So yeah, NBA, things like that, follow it quite closely. Yeah.
I just wait and see if there's any more questions that come on through.
No worries.
Greg says, would he play at Gold? Well, happy to play anywhere, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd just be grateful to get a shot at any club, really. Yeah. Obviously you said you're happy to play anywhere, but obviously Adelaide and Port Adelaide don't have any picks in your draft range. But would that be something that you would be interested in if it could happen? Oh, definitely. I think it'd be awesome to play for my hometown, but like you said, it's very unlikely, and I think I wouldn't be disappointed at all if I was to go into state, like I've said. But yeah, it's exciting regardless.
Mattaes, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and good luck for the rest of the year. Actually, we'll put one in here. One question there. This is very interesting. Adrian Dodoro is a well-known list manager at the Bombers. Obviously, he's got known for some of his odd traits. Have you had any interviews with Dodoro, Adam says?
Yeah, at the Combine, I met Adrian, and yeah, they were awesome. I really enjoyed Essendon and that interview. That was the one where I got brought in with another SA boy, but Dodoro is very funny. It was very enjoyable to have an interview with him, yeah.
Henry says, thoughts on George Wardlaw?
I haven't met him, but obviously very talented footballer, very athletic. I've watched a bit of him, but I haven't met him, so I couldn't give it too much on him.
No worries, Mattaes. I really appreciate you coming on the show, and good luck in the draft in a few weeks' time, and hopefully your dreams realised, and you'll be at that club for a very long time. So appreciate you coming on.
No, thanks for having me, man. Again, cheers.
Okay. Cheers.